I'm an autodidact, which essentially is somebody that learns through their own exploration. And not that I've got any issues, of course, with learning through other forms, but just for my own purpose, I loved, not that I loved the failure, but I loved to learn through sort of my own discovery, if that made sense. That doesn't mean, of course, that you don't pick up influences and inspiration from everything around, which of course you do. But for me, it was a great journey. And what that did for me was trying to understand what type of medium within the creative sphere suited me. And I suppose early on I wasn't sure. Well, at least let me say, I didn't know what else was out there. So I couldn't make an informed decision, if that makes sense. So yeah, I tried into some paint. I started with oils.
So roughly at this stage, what age do you think you were?
I was probably about 17, 18.
Oh, still very young.
Yeah. So started to do a lot of oils, and I did some portraiture because I used to like, painting some realism stuff. And that was quite interesting. I was enjoying some of those early works that I was creating and feeling quite good at myself. Went into a couple of art competitions and was getting some small awards and mentions and that sort of stuff. But probably to my detriment, I then started to explore other formats. So within oils initially, I was doing figurative. Then I went into abstract, and then I sort of moved into acrylics and was doing really highly textured stuff. And started to get into a lot of smaller galleries around that time, which we're talking probably, I would say late 1990s, early 2000s. There was a lot of art galleries which were sort of populated throughout the communities. And it was great because they really supported a lot of the local artists. And people would go into those galleries to buy art that they loved. The prices were positioned, which was, I suppose, at a point which people could afford, even though it was sort of slightly more expensive, of course, than a print. And it was great. I was in dozens of small galleries, mostly in Queensland, down into New South Wales.
Sorry, Hayden, and these galleries that you were in, what sort of form were you presenting? Was it more artistic? Was it contemporary? It wasn't portraits, I would assume, at that stage?
No, I was doing mostly figurative. I do a lot of female nudes in a respective way, using a lot of texture and, the colours were important as well for that. So that sort of styles were very popular because, people like to have that sort of work around bedrooms and that sort of stuff. And a lot of other abstract work.